Again, here we are with the latest information coming out of the Hunga Tonga Hunga Haipai eruption north of Tonga, or around the Tonga Islands. A very powerful eruption has occurred there. It seems to be dying down right now, but we're really only seeing the start of what could be some significant problems resulting from this eruption, including a powerful and quite large tsunami that is currently tearing through the Pacific Basin, and believe it or not, into the Gulf of Mexico as well. The pressure shockwave, which we'll get into a little bit later on, has caused a tsunami in the Gulf of Mexico. Got plenty more information to come up in this update, so please do consider subscribing for more content. Here's a look at what it is looking like in Washington State in the United States. Plenty of water around in areas that it certainly shouldn't be. The water level is a couple of feet higher than where it normally is, and it is continuing to rise with the tsunami moving through, which will probably be the case for the next 6 hours or so. In Vanuatu, yesterday evening, all the water drained away before a couple of foot high tsunami, in some places up to 10 foot high tsunami, tore through the area, causing some serious ocean inundation. And you can see a video right now. Again, the tsunami looking very dangerous indeed. That was a pretty big wave that tore through the Vanuatu area, at least 10 feet high. You can see that the water is up towards the roofs of people's houses. 10 foot is definitely a safe assumption to make the water drain away, and then we get a tsunami with inundation of heights up to 10 feet expected for islands around the South Pacific, and then up towards places in North and South America. Chile already recording the first phases of a tsunami, with the ocean draining away and then starting to fill back up again, and more tsunami threats are expected, including for the coastlines of Australia, which is still waiting on to see a possibly small tsunami over the coming few hours. Here is a look at the Bureau of Meteorology's warnings for this tsunami. We have a marine warning in effect extending from Hervey Bay down to Hobart, and land warnings in effect for Lord Howe Island and Norfolk Islands. They're including evacuation orders from the New South Wales State Emergency Services, which you can tell means that we quite have a serious situation right now. The sea level at Canaveral Island Station, which is just offshore from Chile, is recording currently a tsunami of around 3.5 meters high. That has been caused by the volcano itself, and also a pressure wave, which you can see now from an observational weather station, with a pressure dip and then a spike indicating a significant shock wave has gone off. And that is actually the prime cause for the tsunami in the Gulf of Mexico, which I did not expect at all, and I'm sure many of us did not expect that either. Just to give you an idea of how powerful this eruption was, here's footage taken from the Tonga Navy. This is actually before the main eruption. Think about this. This was a preliminary eruption from the volcano on January 14th. The January 15th eruption was approximately 10 times more powerful than this, so you can sort of picture that. If you have a very powerful imagination, a very big eruption has gone off, with a possible rating of VEI4 or VEI5 on the volcanic explosivity index. I would not be surprised if it was to get the VEI5. It's certainly the biggest eruption since Pinatubo of 1991-92, which did have some global ramifications, which we will talk about in a later part of this video. Just give you a little bit of backstory. The island that this eruption is on, the Hunga Tonga Island, it's pretty new actually. There's been 2 islands. They were recently connected by an eruption on December 24th actually, and then January 14th eruption slightly damaged those islands, and then the eruption yesterday completely blew those islands to smithereens. And you can see the islands there conjoined right now by a very unstable rocky landmass with the active volcano in the middle, and there is unstable land underneath that, and that, all it took was an eruption and blew that island to smithereens, and you can see it right now in 2 pieces, and we'll likely be seeing some more collapsing on with the rocks here. But half a cubic kilometre of rock went plunging into the ocean, and that has caused the tsunami in the Pacific Ocean, which will likely creep into the Indian Ocean as well over the coming day or so, and then whittle out there. Here's some footage from U-Storm generated from the Himawari 8 satellite. You can see the eruption as it happened was very beautiful. That's sort of been the discussion. The eruption itself was beautiful, but incredibly dangerous, that's for sure. Now, I did say that we'd talk about some of those global ramifications. This will likely cause a cooling of global temperatures by around 1 degree Celsius over the coming few months, but don't be fooled, that is not a fix to the problem that we have with climate change. This will not fix climate change at all. It will simply cause a bit of a cooling phase for the coming few months, which could also impact tropical and subtropical activity in both northern and southern hemisphere regions. But regardless of it, it's been a very beautiful but deadly night. We already have confirmed fatalities from Tonga, which isn't really surprising considering how powerful the eruption was. Then again, they are unconfirmed, but still the idea that this volcano has been deadly is being thrown out there. Here's a look at the another band of the imagery. You can see on the visible imagery right now just how high the ash was ejected. Some reports going as high as 66,000 feet. That is over 20 kilometers into the upper atmosphere, and as it did sink, it did cool, which made it look like it was still rising, but it actually went higher than the troposphere, which means that it briefly warmed up towards the temperatures of space before cooling back down again as it descended towards Earth. And it has been confirmed that places on Tonga have been doused in ash, and that also includes areas extending over to Fiji. But on that note, that is all that I have time for. Please do consider subscribing to the Force 13 Australia channel. We've had some pretty incredible support recently and would love to have you on board as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next story.